Welcome. In this video, you will learn about the slide design because this is an important component of delivering an engaging talk. So remember, I told you no bullet points. Like a good slide design will have no bullet points, but it will have an assertion statement and some images. But that's not all about like slide design. Slide design has more than that, yeah. So we talked already about slide design, like how slide design should has an assertion evidence statement at the top and then no bullet points but just some images. But there is also timing, like and there is also like timing, like uh, what to include and what not to include and how many slides should I have. Like I have a 10 minutes presentation, how many slides should I have? Yeah. uh, Oh, I forgot to put like a learning objective for this slide. But the learning objective is very simple. Like by the end, these are the learning objective here, yeah? By the end of this lesson, what you should be able to do, you should be able to decide on the timing of your slide. Like I have a 10 minutes presentation, how many slides should I include? You should be able to effectively design the title slides, the introduction, the body, and the conclusions slides. So you should be able to effectively design this based on the guidelines that I'll provide to you. You should be able to select the font, like select like so the fonts. These are kind of like non-verbal messages that the font will implicitly deliver. So we will learn about this, and we should be able to select the suitable fonts that suit the message that you want to deliver. And then you should also select the color palette. Uh, so like different color palettes will also be used differently for different purposes, as we will also learn about color selection. So let's just get started about like the what like the timing part. Yeah. So the timing part here, see, this is my assertion statements. This is the take-home message that I want you to take from this. Present one important message for a 10-minute presentation and not 1 year of work. That's basically sum it, yeah. What to cover in a presentation and what to leave out, yeah. So yeah, like you're doing like let's say your thesis or not even your thesis, you're doing a project, yeah, like taking like a research method and then doing the project. That's 1 year of work. So you've been doing this for 1 year, and then what do you present? You present everything you did in this 1 year, yeah. Is this what you present? No. Or even like if you are doing a thesis, that would be 2 years. If you are doing a dissertation, that would be 3 years, even more. So you'll present everything you did in this 3 years. No, no, you don't do this. You just select one important message and present it well. Yeah, that's what you present. You can talk about other things, but importantly, you just select one important message and you do it well, giving like a 10-minute presentation. If you are have a 50-minute presentation, I will show you like next how you can talk about multiple ideas and uh, how to do this. Yeah, but so that is like the most important thing. Like like you need to think carefully about like one important message, like insight or finding or conclusion. Like you reached one important conclusion, and that's what I want to present. That you want your audience to understand and appreciate what you have been doing. Because what you have been doing, it could be just one important conclusion. You just focus on this and deliver it. Yeah. Uh, Now, once you know what you want to present, like the second question is to ask yourself, like, what, how to get my audience there? Like, what do I need to do to get my audience there? And that will, once you answered your question, what do you need to do to get your audience there? That will already tell you, like, what do you need to cover to get your audience there? Yeah. So, so that is the second question. Like, So for example, like in the presentations that I give, like what do I need to do to get my audience there? First, I need to tell them what soil respiration. Then I need to show them like what is soil respiration pulse. So once I set the stage for this, and then and now I know that they know about soil respiration. Now they know about like what is the soil respiration pulse, and then now I would know, okay, like what do I need to cover? I maybe need to cover like the original model that didn't work, and then I will need to cover our model that works. Yeah, and then end up with some conclusions. So that's basically how I was thinking about it. Like when I design, like when you design something like this. So you should spend time. It's time. It takes time. Remember, because your presentations, that's one of the most important part of your work. When you present it for a job interview. Yeah. I told you, like if you're applying for a faculty position, you have to give a research talk. It's usually like 50 minutes or something. Yeah. Now here is a rule of thumb, like if you have like a 10 minutes talk, you should have about like 5 to 7 slides, should not exceed 10 slides, and that will allow you to do to go through this slide and in depth and provide some in-depth discussion. So that's the rule of thumb, like 10 minutes should ideally be 5 slides. If you cannot make it in 5 slides, just do it in 7 slides. If you cannot do it in 7 slides, 10 slides, that would be too much. Yeah. Because then you will have to rush through the material. Remember, the audience, you need to give audience time to digest through material. Like that presentations that I gave, the mock presentation which I gave, I didn't give you much time to digest the presentation. And that's why, I mean, it was effective, but not super effective. Yeah. I rushed through the material. Yeah, somehow. Even though, like, if you check the mock presentations that I have, how many slides do they have? Like 5 or 6. Yeah, 6 at most. Okay. Uh, every slide also, it should have like a kind of like a take-home message, and it should have like a kind of like a snorkeling statement. So you should, like, in addition, like, to the take home message, or the snorkeling statement should be also your take home message. Yeah, but should have like snorkeling statement, like the relevance and the meaning, like of what you talked about. And because remember, the audience are desperate for meaning. The audience want meaning, so each slide should end up with a meaning, like what does this mean, why this is important. And even if you are not answering this question, you can give them a promise that you will answer it in the next slide. Like when I give the mock presentation, I told you we are doing the soil respiration. I explained to you what soil respiration, but then I told you why this is important. Well, I told you I will tell you this in the next slide. Because some of you, you'll say, like, listening to this, okay, what this guy is talking about, like why do we need to know why this soil respiration is important. Yeah, but then in the next slide I will show you why this could be something important. Some of you might not be convinced, like I'm not interested in earth system model, so I try to connect it to something that you might be interested in, like changing in rainfall patterns or sea level rise in your area. Yeah, if I had time more, I could expand more on this. Yeah, and tell you why this could be important. Yeah. Okay. So here in 10 minutes slide, you don't present 1 year work. You just present one important message, 5 or 6 slides. That's it. Yeah. So here, this is what I was just describing. You can read it. So again, I put this material. I mean, you can pause the video and read it, but I just put this material for your references. Okay. So now let's go to the next part. Is like the title slide, the introduction, the body, and the conclusion. So let's see how to effectively design each of this one. So the title slide, that will orient the audience, like states the audience the benefit of or what they will learn. Like that's where you make promise to them. See, I always have this title slide. Like I have like a title slide. After this title slide, I have like kind of, I don't do title slide. Like my title slide is generally like the title slide. This is just like has a title. It doesn't have much, but like my main title slide would be the learning objective. So I will tell you, like, by the end of this video, you would learn, you'll be able to not learn, like you'll be able to do this and that and that. So that's like the title slide. In the title slide in the mock presentation, what I did, because I know that you have no clue of what I'm talking about and you're not interested in what I'm talking about, like what did I do in the title slide? In the title slide, I tried to attract your attention by putting some images, yeah, and some photos that might like steer your curiosity, might attract your attention. I put some animation and I use this animation to explain this concept. I might not myself be like a good presenter, yeah, uh, but these techniques, even though I'm not like a good presenter, because different people have different talent, yeah, and this is a talent, yeah. If you, either you have it or you don't, and if you don't have it, you can by practice you will improve it. But even though I'm not, might not be like a good presenter, but just this animation and like just making like these two images and just making this story, that I'm just trying my best to get you engaged, like giving my limited talent, yeah. So even so, these techniques will make up for your limited talent. So here, this is an example of like a title presentation. We'll have like a title, like the title of your presentation, a secondary title, the name and the department, and so on and so forth. So this is a template that you can use, for example. So let me show you an example. So this is much better than the examples that I gave, yeah, like in my mock presentation. So here again, something that you are not interested in. Uh, but this, because this slide, like it's well designed, it could generate your interest. Coat color variation in red foxes. So this red foxes, they have coats, and these coats will have like a different colors. So some of it would be like yellow, some of it would be just white, some of it would be dark black. So why this coat color vary? So here, see now the secondary statement, environmental factors that affect fur color. So now you are curious. Now that started to steer your curiosity. Uh, because why it steals your curiosity, because now you want to see, okay, like, so what are these environmental factors that will make this fur color like white rather than yellow, or black rather than dark rather than yellow? Could it be like the temperature? Could it be like the humidity? Could it be the elevation? Could it be like, what is it? Yeah. So now you are curious. Yeah. So that is like your title slide. Yeah. In my title slide, I had to do more than that. I had to do much more than that because my topic is really something not tiny little narrow details that you're not familiar with. It's not something general like this that everyone would be interested in or like everyone could easily understand. Yeah. So now the introduction, like you capture the people attention with a question, with a story, with a shocking information. That's how you always start any good presentation. Like you steer the curiosity of your audience, like an interesting question, like a story, shocking information. That's what I did. I showed you like this model of Allison, which was published. I showed you this model was published in Nature Geoscience, like this one of the top journals. So it should work, yeah. But it didn't work in this case. Like why it didn't work? What is missing from this model? Yeah. And that is how I was able to steer your curiosity. Now you want to know, okay, why is this model, which was published in such a very good journal, one of the top journals, didn't work? What is missing from it? Yeah. So that's how I was able to capture your attention by like this question or story or shocking information. Did I do it effectively? Not really. Why? Because I was talking too fast and I didn't do the right pause. I should like have paused a little bit, and I should have just told you what I'm telling you now. Uh, that like, okay, this model which was published in such a great journal, why is it not working? What is it missing of it? I should have kept emphasizing it and repeating it. That might have help it like to deliver this message more clearly to you. But why I didn't do this? Because I was rushing through the material because I wanted to stay within the 15-minute limit, and that's probably because I decided to cover more material than I should have had. Like I cover this like Bayesian model evidence, like took 2 minutes. I could have like removed this Bayesian model evidence things and just like spend more time and take it slowly and go slowly over like this like the question or the shocking information and make it like shocking. Like this is something that was published in one of the top journals not working. Why? What is missing from this model? Yeah. So that would be like the introduction. Then the body, remember you are telling a story. Now, if you have a 10-minute presentation, just tell one story. Talk about the model, yeah, like the new model that we develop, and then one take-home message from this new model is that soil respiration should be attached to a hydrology model, like to simulate soil moisture content. That would be the take-home message, yeah. Uh, uh, that like see now like after doing this presentation is becoming more clear to me. Like so if I did like a second trial of this presentation, now I can deliver it in a shorter time and I could make it more clear. But let's say you have like you are doing your dissertation, yeah, and then you will have about 50 minutes for that. And then you did like that's a 3 year work. You don't want to just present one idea. Like typically to get a PhD, you need to have 3 papers. So that's like 3 different ideas. How do you do it? So like the way to do it is that you start with an introduction. Yeah, you have to do it in chunk. So you divide your presentation into chunks. So you start with like an introduction. Yeah. So you start with an introduction, you end up with a conclusion. And in between, you can have like one chunk, two chunks, three chunks, 5 chunks, whatever. So here I have a chunk. So this is chunk number 1. I have like chunk number 2, and they don't need to be equal, yeah. And this is like chunk number 3. And each chunk should start with like a problem and a solution. Problem. So this is problem number 2. This is problem number 1 and solution. Problem number 2 and solution. Problem number 3 and solution. And then here your conclusion. And this is here your intro. So that's how to do it. So a sequence of chunks to create a story. So you have like a coherent narrative, but and each chunk should serve like your big coherent narrative, and each chunk should be like a problem, a solution, a problem and a solution, a problem and a solution. Let me give you an example. So I give like a presentation. I did this several times. I was asked to give a presentation about groundwater sustainability. So how do I do this? So I start by an introduction talking about like groundwater sustainability. Does it mean? Why it is important? Yeah. What are my chunks? So my chunks would be like cases studies that I did about groundwater sustainability. So I will start by a case study I did about groundwater sustainability in Hawaii. So I say, okay, in Hawaii, this is the problem they have, and this is the solution we provided. Then what would be my next chunk? My next chunk would be case study I did in Florida. So in Florida, this is the problem we have here, and this is the solution that we are providing and that we provided. And then each of these chunks will relate to my introduction, and this introduction and these 2 chunks will relate to my conclusions, the takeaway, the take-home messages, what I want my audience to learn from, like the introduction and these 2 chunks. Again, why I have like in this sequence, because I have a 50 minutes presentation. Yeah, that was a 50-minute presentation. Last time I did this was at the water school at a seminar. Last time I give no, actually, let me take my word back. Last time I did this, that was for a course like in India, like professor in India. He's teaching a groundwater course, and he asked me, would you like to give one guest lecture about groundwater sustainability? Then I recorded the lesson. The lesson is online, you can watch it. Yeah, if you want, let me know in the comments and I can provide you, like if you're interested in watching this video, let me know in the comments. Tell me, please provide the link for your guest lecture at this, I think it was India Institute of Technology. I don't remember the name. I can provide you the YouTube link. Yeah. Okay. uh, Now slide. Don't make it busy. Not too much is happening. That's the best slide. Like best slide would be like an evidence statement at the top, an image, and then you just spend your time talking. And the more time you spend on one slide, the better and more in depth and more understanding will happen. And that's why I told you the number of slides should be just like 10 minutes, 5 minutes. Like uh, recently, I was just asked to deliver a presentation here at FGCU, 10 minutes, like, and 3 slides. That's it. Yeah, 3 slides. That was about like how we integrate it. Like there's a course I'm teaching called environmental data science where AI is heavily integrated in this course. So I was like reviewing how I integrate AI in teaching and like in this environmental data science course. So what do I do? I had 10 minutes, 3 slides only. That's it. Yeah. I think I don't remember. It was 3 or 4. I mean, don't quote me for it. Could be like 3 or 4, but doesn't matter. Like 10 minutes, 3 or 4 slides, and then I will take my time. Yeah, and that was successful presentation. Very successful actually. Got like feedbacks. That's how I know it was successful because based on the feedbacks that I got after the presentation. Uh, so don't make it too busy. Like that's my favorite thing. So like my favorite thing would be like take home message as a top and one image that I will just talk and talk and talk about it. And that's would be like my slide. Like even this mock presentations that I give you, I give you this one like something very technical. I deliberately did this because I want to show you that even if you have to do something that's very technical, that's very boring, you can still do it. Like don't think that you cannot do it. You can still do it and it can still be successful. Okay, conclusions. That tells them what you told them. Yeah. So in the introduction, tell them what you will tell them. Then you tell them. Then in the conclusion, you tell them what you told them. Yeah. Recap and takeaway message. So that's basically how we do it. Yeah. You tell them what you want to tell them. You tell it to them, and then you tell them what you told them. Okay. So uh, here, for example, so the conclusion would can look something like this. Like in summary, follow by sentence which restates the most important assertion of the presentation, the most important takeaway, the most important message. Yeah. And for this like mock presentation I did, I don't remember what was the most important assertion, but doesn't matter. And then you supporting point, like for this important assertion, like no longer than one line and no longer than one line. So here, for example, like this, that's a much better than the mock presentations that I did. Like that's a much better example. In summary, environmental factor affect color variation in red foxes. So now what does this mean? That means that like different foxes living in different environment will have different fair color. Now, what is the supporting point? Population density impacts coat color outcome. So if you have like big population, small populations, that will impact the coat color outcome. Geographical elevation. So it's like somehow my guess was not so bad. Like it's geographical elevation, not temperature per se, but like the geographical elevation impact coat color outcome. So if you are at high elevation versus low elevation, that will impact your coat color outcome. So you see, this is the main take home message, and this is the supporting point 1 and 2. Yeah, so that's basically like how do this. Now, let me move to another. So we talked about like this part. Let me move to another like font selection. Yeah, so and I'll end this video shortly. Don't worry. Yeah, if you're looking at your watch. Hopefully, yeah. So font are non-verbal expressions that creates the presentation that sets the presentation tone and affects audience engagement. Yes. So let me tell you, there are two family of fonts. Yeah, there are two family of fonts. Like one family is called like serif, and another family of font is called sans serif. Sans means like it's a French word means not, like not serif. So basically that's serif and this is not serif. So what is serif? Like this is serif. Like you see here, this little dash is here. Yeah, like see this dash here, that's a serif. Sans serif means it does not have this dash. It's just clean. It's a clean cut. Yeah, without these dashes. Yeah, without this, without this, without this. So that's sans serif. Without so this little dash is called serif. Yeah. This little dash here is called serif. Sans serif means without serif. So, and these two are sets very different tone, yeah. So serif fonts say the serif fonts like this is like if you look at this is something traditional. Like you if you look at an old book, it will have like this serif color. If you look at a modern book, for example, it will have sans serif color. So what does serif say? So serif, like you see here, font says traditional, established, and trustworthy. So Times Roman, for example. So if you want your document, like whatever you're writing, whether this is in a presentation, this is whether written for, if you want it to look like traditional, established, trustworthy, authoritative, then use a serif font like Times Roman, Times New Roman. If you want your writing, your document, your presentation to look modern, use sans serif. Yeah. So sans serif font says that I'm modern, I'm approachable, and I'm clean. So that's the tone. So now this is what you need to. That's like that is the tone. Like it sets the tone. Yeah. So that's the basically the tone. Yeah. So, so that's the first question that you want to ask yourself. Like, do I want to sound like traditional, established, trustworthy, authoritative, or do I want to look modern, approachable, and clean? If you selected this answer, then you should go to like a sans serif font, like Calipari, for example, like whatever. Yeah. So these are like I will show you some examples. That's the first question to answer. Yeah. Serif or sans serif. The second question to answer, like, do I want to look like everyone, or I want to stand out and look like unique and something memorable, something that people will remember. Like, so how much familiar do I want? So that's the first question. Like, do I want to look modern or do I want to look traditional and trustworthy? Second question is how much familiar do I want? So now here, let's look at this. So is this serif or sans serif? Like, let me ask you this question. Is this serif or sans serif? So obviously this is serif, yeah, because it has like this time here. So Time New Roman is like serious because it's like serious, respectful, and reliable. Yeah. Garamond brings elegance. Yeah. It brings readability and sophistication. Is it surf or sans surf? It is surf. But yeah. Okay. Fang song will be memorable. That would be very memorable because it's like a unique looking type of font. So now here, this is like, so now let's say I selected, I want to look something traditional. I want to look established and trustworthy. So I will select a serif font, like, so be one of these three. Now, this one will be familiar, like, because all of us are familiar with Time New Roman. This one would be less familiar. This one would be most less familiar. And again, that's up to you. Like, if you want to be familiar and look like everyone else, you select New Time Roman. If you want to be like somewhere in between, like not very familiar and not so unfamiliar, then you would select something like this one. If you want to look not familiar at all and like you want to look very like a unique font, then you can go with something like this. Uh, Arial, that's again like now, like let's say now I want to do sans serif, yeah. So if I want to do sans serif, then I'll go for Arial, for example, or Gothic. So Arial is clear, nonsense, and professional. That's the tone that it sets. But if I want to go for non-familiar, like something that's sans serif and non-familiar, that would be Gothic, is less familiar than Arial. So again, that's the question: serif or non or sans serif, and then familiar or not familiar. And that's basically the question. Do you want your audience to feel familiarity of tried and tested font, or do you want to escape the familiar and be a little bit unique and memorable with the font your audience has not already seen that day? Yeah. So that probably, like, if you are in a conference that has like a session that has, I don't know, 8 presentation, most of them will either has like this guy or this guy, but I don't think anyone will have this one. So like a font that looks like this, but it will be memorable. But generally, what's my personal preference? I generally like to go with the familiar because I don't want to distract my audience with fonts and these things. So what I will go with would be something like Calipari, or for example, yeah, something that's familiar and that So, and that is like modern, approachable, and clean. That would be my choice, like sans serif and Calipari or something like this. Yeah. So here, after you answer these two questions, like surf or sound surf, and decided on the voice you want to convey, now you can start searching for fonts. So now you can keep playing. Yeah, like let me show you. Like you can just keep playing. Yeah, you can. Now you know surf and sound surf, and then you can just like keep playing and searching for fonts. Yeah, that works for you. Okay, so that's like how you do it until. So let me show you an experiment that I did. Yeah, so some playings that I did. Yeah. So here, this is something, an experiment that I did. I want my tone to be modern, sans serif, and slightly non-familiar. Yeah. So, so here, so this is the modern and familiar character. That was the experiment. Yeah. Like if I want my to be like modern, but not totally non-familiar, just slightly non-familiar. So this is modern and familiar. So this is like sans serif. Both of them are sans serif, but familiar. This is Calipari. Yeah. So that's how my slide. Oops. Uh, would look like. Uh, Now, if I want to be like modern but slightly non-familiar, I did this Gothic light, yeah. So I don't know which one do you like more. I don't know. I don't remember which one that was actually for an actual conference. I don't know which one I ended up going with. Probably this one, but I don't remember. Don't quote me for this. Because like when I look at it now, I like this one more. And one is more clearer than this one. But again, if you have a different opinion, let me know this in the discussion board on Canvas. Yeah, if you have a different opinion, which one you like more. But my preference, I will go for this one. Yeah. Both are modern, but this is more familiar Calipari. Yeah. Okay, so that's I think all like some introduction to fonts. Let me move to another topic, which is I promise not to make this video long. I will try to end very quickly. Uh, so the right color plate can energize and motivate to inspire. So that's like different color speaks different messages. So here, like I'm not gonna go through this. Like I just put some uh, links for you. You can learn more about this on your own. So 10 color plate to nail your next presentation. So basically, like I like this very much, and it will tell you uh, like if you want to energize and like use this color, like orange, yeah. Best color to calm and reassure the room. Like if you want to calm and reassure the room, like use this color plate, yeah. Uh, uh, Boost confidence. If you want to boost confidence and you have some explanation here, then like use this color plate. Corporate business. If you are doing a corporate business, then that would be like the color plate to use. Cool on and trend on. Yeah, so sound like something cool. Yeah. Innovation. Like if you are doing innovation, like use this color plate. I did this. Like I was presenting something about innovative, like large language model, and how could you use this large language model to do science for you. And that's exactly the colors that I selected. I even don't remember this slide, but I know that like because that's something cutting edge topic, something very innovative, and my title slide has like these colors in it. Yeah. So, but best color for like to appear like a high end. So if you want to do like a high end uh, presentation, like you are presenting this for your clients, you don't want to sell them like you're in a construction company and you want to sell them like I don't know, $20 million house or something. I don't know. Don't quote me for this, but that's what this presentation said. Color like to improve focus. So it's like to improve focus, you can use these colors that will improve focus. Well, I didn't know this, but you can read here and like you can read why like this green color, for example, will improve focus. It's good to know to learn. Actually, I like this color plate very much. I will like use it maybe next, yeah. To promote sustainability, of course, green. So that would be like, and then you can read more here about like this and then boost creativity. So that's like, yeah, I mean, look at this guy. I mean, he's so creative, yeah. So that's like to boost creativity, yeah. But anyway, so these are just like this is one link. The other link is about like also something similar. Uh, a beautiful color palette for presentation slides. So I think this one already has some slides that it tells you how to integrate this with, like it has some PowerPoint slides that you can already download and you can learn about them and use them. So I think I used this one before in one thing I did, like this color plate. But again, like I'm not gonna go through this in detail to keep my promise of not making this video long. But you can just do it yourself. Like I just put this link for you. If you are curious about learning about this more, please check this. But here, this is the take, like the summary figures that I have for you. Like so, colors here represent like how do the choose of color, the perfect color for how to choose the perfect color for your design. So black, that would be power, sophistication, mystery, death. White, that's like what I generally use. Hope, simplicity, cleanness. Like I like it for the cleanness part. Yeah. Goodness and purity. Uh, Red, love, passion, romance, danger, energy. That's why like fast food will always have this color. Like fast food restaurants, like uh, all the famous one, I can like Pizza Hut, like KFC, McDonald's, they will have like this red color, and many of them because that's probably the feelings that they want to incite in you, like in us, yeah, in love, passion, romance, danger, whatever, yeah. Uh, Peace, serenity, confidence, integrity, tranquility. Yeah, I mean that's true. I like blue color just for the tranquil part of it. Green, I love green color because it's like I just like it. Like it's because of nature, maybe. That's why I like it. Money, yeah, yeah, yeah. Money, yeah, that's like dollars are green, so that's also like green. Innovation, like see here, I use this blue color here just for this part, like creativity and investigation. I just want you to get excited in this way. uh, uh, Royalty, luxury, wisdom, dignity. Yes, so some like if you went to like a psychiatrist office, for example, some of them they would like use this color to give you like a tranquil feeling or to give you like wisdom, a feeling of wisdom or something like this. So they will have like a this purple like walls or something like this. uh, Yellow, so yellow it could have different messages. It could, so like the light, stop light, it has like green, red for stop, green for go, yellow is in between. So yellow, that could also mean like warmth, friendliness, yeah. Caution, yeah, that's in the red light. Cowardness, so intellect, yeah, like you're smart or something. So it could also signify decay because plants when they die, like they become yellow, they are green and then they become yellow. Yeah, but it depends. That's from different culture, could mean different thing. So it is a good idea to use like a color plate consistently throughout your project. So for, and some universities they provide this. So ETH, for example, this like the MIT in Switzerland. So this is for like the blue. This is like in German, yeah. So here, this is like the blue grün means like green, rot means like red, purple, guru, whatever. So like they would use like different color plate and like let me show you an example. Like so, I sometimes I do this. I let me show you. Just this is some example I did. So in this paper, like if you see here, I just selected one color plate that I consistently use it throughout the slide, which is blue. Like see here is this blue color. Here is the same blue color. You see here is the same blue color. Uh, Here it is like the same blue color. See, same blue color, same plate. It's a color plate. I just use it consistently. So all my figure, see, will follow like this blue color, which is very similar to this one. To be very similar to this one. Yeah. So that's also another thing you can do for your presentation or for your report or whatever. But like in conclusion, just to conclude this module, uh, science minus jargon and bullets, no jargons. Yeah, you tell them the relevance, you divide it, you multiply it many times by passion, that will equal to understanding. And I told you most of this material in this module was based on the work of Melissa Marshall I think she has like also a TED talk about like presentation skill. You can watch this. But I think this is all for this. I provided you here more, more material, and I think that's all for this module.